Hey guys, welcome to RTX's first Facebook Live video. We are going to be answering some questions from our members and talking with several employees here at RTX. We'll go through more in-depth introductions here in a minute, but we've got Ed Robertson, wave Ed, Karina Violet, and Beth Arlington. And we will also be joined shortly by our friend Greg Christ with the National Timeshare Owners Association and the Association of Vacation Owners. All right, Ed, can you slide down that way so we can get all three of you guys on the screen? Beth, you too. I'll get cozy with Karina. A little more.
Keep going.
Keep going. Okay. All right, we'll give just a few more minutes to get everyone settled, and then who's gonna go first here?
Probably do left to right, and then add in Greg into the mix and kind of get started from there. How many viewers are we up to?
We're at about 11 right now.
So maybe another few minutes and get some more viewers, and then we'll get started.
That sounds good.
Great.
Sounds good. So guys, as these lovely folks are talking about RTX, if you have any questions that you would like answered, you can comment on the live video. And sorry, we have some technology glitches here. Yeah, you can comment on the live video, and if we don't get to your question today during this session, we will actually be doing a follow-up on what is called National Ask a Question Day, which is next Wednesday, March 14th. So we'll be back here to address any questions or concerns that did not get covered today. So we hope to have a lot of engagement and interaction. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've got 15 viewers now. So we want to get started.
A minute or so, and we're going to get started.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, hey, I see our friends at NTOA, the Association of Vacation Owners, have joined us. So good to see you guys. Right.
How about that weather?
Snow.
Around the board is snow.
Oh yeah, from a little weather update, we are here in Asheville, North Carolina, and it's March 7th, and this morning we had some snow showers, which was interesting. But
Shout out to New England and all those folks
Yeah.
that are going through the nor'easters.
yeah, hope you guys are all safe and staying warm. Maybe you're watching this cozied up by a fire or something.
Thinking about your next trip to Cancun or
Yes,
something.
there you go. There you
Trying to
go.
escape the cold.
Yeah,
Call and ask for it.
that's right. Ed'll get you there. That's right. Okay. All right. I think we're up to 20 now, so let's get going.
We should get started.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer as each of you start going. So excuse the shaky camera. All right.
We could probably flip it if you wanted to, and then we can do our. If not, it's okay.
Like so that you guys can do it.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
then
what-
we
Oh
can-
yeah. All right. Let's do that. Okay. I'm gonna turn the camera around. Hi, I'm Sarah. And then hand it off to Ed.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm Ed, and I am a team lead with RTX. I've been with the company for a little over 4.5 years. So it's definitely a pleasure to be here with the company and a pleasure to be on Facebook Live with you guys. What we wanted to discuss on today was to help our members and to give even our new members a better way to exchange. And not just to exchange, we want to help our members to have options with RTX. Whenever
So we'll get into that here in a couple moments, but what we're going to do is just kind of an introduction of who's joining us, and then we'll go into the meat of the presentation. So just real quick, my name is Karina Violet. I am the Director of Resort Partnerships with RTX. I primarily stay on the road and present RTX to various resorts and annual meetings. I'm heavily involved within the industry and serve on several committees. And I've been around for 2012 since RTX was created. And my main goal is to, like Ed mentioned, is to provide more options, provide education, and things like that. So I'll touch base on that. And then Beth Arlington here.
Hi there, I'm Beth Arlington. I'm the inventory manager at RTX. So I work kind of behind the scenes to help you have more variety and availability on the site, of places that you can go to, and make sure that you have all the information on the resort that you need, and make sure you have the right check-in date and the unit size that you asked for. So I've been with RTX since 2013. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you about all the different benefits at RTX.
All right, so from here, what we're going to do is we are going to add Greg Christ with NTOA. We're going to add them into the Facebook Live presentation. And so that way they can give an introduction on what NTOA does and their involvement within the timeshare industry. And I'm not sure I recall how to do this, so hang tight while we get them added.
Hang on. I'm going to turn the camera around to look at y'all while I figure this out.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay, just invited Greg. Actually, while we're waiting for Greg to join us, a good question came up, guys, that you can maybe answer. It says, when logged on to the RTX website, it only shows weeks deposit, not points. How do I deposit my FAC points on the website?
Yeah.
For something like that, I would highly recommend that you call in and speak to a live representative so that way we can possibly get your account updated. That's probably just a computer glitch or something.
Okay.
Maybe the account was created the wrong way. It's real easy. Just call in.
Okay, so a representative can adjust that in your account, so they'll be able to deposit points moving forward. Okay, great.
But normally, though, right, they'd be able to just go in and deposit the points from their account.
Yeah.
But it's a possibility that it was just
For this
right.
person, there's something that wasn't set up correctly. Okay, Greg Christ, I am about to bring him on. All right, I'm going to give it back to you guys.
So we are adding Greg Christ with NTOA, and sometimes this Facebook Live thing, it kind of takes a little bit of time. It's this new technology. We're trying to stick with it, but let's see. It says it's adding.
Oh, there.
So we might be having. Oh, there's Greg.
Yay.
Hi, guys.
Yay. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Sure. It's pretty sweet, and so we can get in here.
Yes,
So I guess, Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement with NTOA, and then we can kind of get this started.
Sure. So the National Timeshare Owners Association was established in 1997, 21 years ago. I took over approximately 5 years ago. My wife, Christy, and I work every day at NTOA, and we've just done a rebrand campaign for the Association of Vacation Owners, which is actually starting today. But you know, our focus is all about timeshare owners, is about the vacation experience, is helping owners to understand the product that they own through education. We certainly work to advocate on their behalf and encourage them to get the most beneficial use of their interest. So we love working with good partners like RTX that help us with our vision and our mission and reaching out to owners to help them strengthen that experience. So that's what we're here doing, and we really enjoy having the relationships with the RTX family, and happy to be joining on this this new experimental webinar. It's exciting.
It's experimental, that's for sure. One of the main reasons why we thought as a team that it's important that we come together is just making sure that our members and owners are educated about the options that are available to them. And this idea, I mean, we were talking about the National Consumer Protection Week, and emails were going back and forth, and some behind the scenes stuff came about, and we decided we wanted to have an interactive Facebook Live presentation with our members.
Sure.
So one of the main things that I wanted to talk about is the importance of education and knowing what products are available to you. Ed will be kind of talking about how to utilize the membership, how to make the most out of it. And then Beth is going to fill in between. She's very knowledgeable amongst all of that. She does these webinars from time to time. And from what I heard, it was one of the popular webinars that RTX gave. Isn't that right?
It had a very good viewership. So,
so a couple of housekeeping things. Any specific questions about your accounts? We'll take note of that and then get back to you after the presentation. If it's a generalized question, we'd be more than happy to address. And anything else? Am I missing anything as far as the questions and stuff go? Oh, so next week it is National Ask a Question Day. So anything that is left over that we weren't able to address, we will make sure to get to those on National Ask a Question Day.
Excellent.
So, Greg, do you have anything to add before we get started?
No, I certainly, like you all, we're welcoming all questions. There's certainly a great opportunity to get proactive with owners and utilize this technology to, put faces behind our companies. We're timeshare owners just like you are. We want you to enjoy these experiences to the best ability that you can. We may not have all of the answers today, but I promise you one thing, we'll get those answers. If we don't have time to respond to those today, I don't want anyone to go away thinking that we didn't, look real hard to answering that. But just from the housekeeping side, if we can't get to it, or if it's just a complex question and we don't collectively have an answer, certainly we want to work together to get back to that individual owner, because that is just such an important bridge to create. And thank you again, RTX, for allowing us to participate with you in this program.
Yeah, and just one quick thing. So we're going to kind of go through the presentation, and then at the end we'll answer the questions. But anybody that's tuned in now, we're going to have a neat little contest at the end. So you want to be sure to kind of watch the presentation, and then we'll do our contest. And then any feedback that you have, we'd be more than happy to take a look at. We want to make things better for you. We want to make things better for our members. So I think we're about ready to get started.
Great.
So what I do, I travel a good bit, talking to a number of resorts and making sure that they know that RTX is another option for them. I serve on a lot of committees with different trade associations, and one of the important things that I want to stress to you all is just the importance of keeping yourself educated, whether it's about the exchange options that are available to you, whether it's from an owner servicing standpoint or your fees, or just making sure that you keep yourself protected as a consumer. RTX is fairly new. We were created in 2012. So with that said, I mean, some of the other exchange companies have been around for 30 and 40 years. So we're the new guys. And what we want to do is make sure that you have a cost-efficient option. We've got the lowest exchange fee in the industry. While we might not have the thousands upon thousands weeks, we've got the customer service to back it. We've got, several options available to you. And what makes us different is our culture, our employees. We have a free membership, which free is always good.
I like free.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like free? If you already have a membership with us, make sure you take advantage of it. Give us a call, ask questions, engage with us. We're all over social media. We send out emails. We've got our magazines that go out. So that's kind of what I wanted to stress, was just the importance of keeping yourself educated on what's available to you as a timeshare owner.
I think one of the things with members is that they sometimes don't realize all the different options, because we don't just want to be, a standard exchange company. Like, we want to be the complete travel experience. Mm-hmm. So a lot of our members, especially when they call in, they talk to someone like Ed. Ed's going to take you through the website and show you all the different opportunities that exist with RTX that you might not be familiar with. I mean, there's things like river cruises that you can book, or, you can book a cruise, and there's all these different options, because it's not just about traveling to, the same resort every year any longer.
Catamarans? Have y'all ever been on a catamaran? I haven't, but I want to. And you know who can get you there? RTX.
Guys, as I was thinking, we've really evolved into such an experiential programming. We're offering so many different types of options for travel. Owners that call into AVOA are really sharing some of these new experiences with us, and we're happy to share those in turn with you. But thanks for bringing that up, because it's amazing that this is not just brick and mortar resorts anymore. As you just said, Karina, there's catamaran tours in really exotic destination locations. We have now resorts that are in urban locations, and the world of travel is really in our hands, and we show owners to go over to RTX and to look at what's on the website. But we have folks like Ed and others on your team that really take a concierge approach to saying, what is it that you really want to do? I mean, let's talk about where you want to go, what you're going to do. It's all about more the experience rather than just booking the travel. It's just, there's so much more to that. And I really enjoy that opportunity to work with you guys in that respect, because our owners give us great feedback around that.
Well, and it's important to be open-minded about certain things. You mentioned some of those urban locations. I mean, as anybody knows, it's going to be hard to exchange into New York City or Boston, but you call into RTX and you explore those different options with Ed and his team. There are things that you can do to maximize your membership, and I think, isn't that kind of what you wanted to touch base a little bit on?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that in regards to the free membership, no cost membership, and most people don't like change, and I understand that personally as a consumer. I don't like change, but when it comes to already having a membership, because you're already a timeshare owner, just being a timeshare owner in general grants you access to RTX and taking advantage of what you're entitled to. Yeah. I believe that's very, very imperative for future growth. So when people are calling in asking us, hey, I want to go here, I want to go there, and it could be an urban area or just a bigger city that does not really have timeshare capability, and we talk about and we discuss what are they really, really trying to do. Right. And a lot of people, they're like, well, I want to go here, I want to go there. So you really don't want to be where you want to go. So then we start talking about options. And the next thing you know, I'm like, well, I think this would be a great place for you. And the next thing you know, it's about 30 minutes away from where they want to be. Yep. So it's all about, you know, having first forth the effort, and that's how we train all of our representatives here in regards to, hey, just put forth the effort, ask the probing questions, see what they really want to do, because in most cases they really don't want to go to where they want to go. They just want to do what they want to do.
They usually only want to go there because their friend told them
Because
about
their friend
that
told them
space.
about it.
But what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? What do your
Sure.
family want to do?
And that's the thing, because with our representatives like Ed, you know, they're experts in travel. They know of things that you might not know as a member. So it's always good to call and talk to them. You know, did you know that in the Bahamas you can stay at a resort and you can go swim with pigs? I didn't know that was even an option.
I've
I
done
don't know
it.
if I want to swim with pigs. But you know, things like that members might not know, but you call and you talk to someone at Ed, like, we want to give you that, you know, personal experience and those options as a member.
You bet. You bet. So guys, I'm looking at the feed roll up, and I'm seeing a ton of people join in on the conversation. What I can't see from my screen, because I'm patched in on video, are some of the questions coming through. Obviously, my team on the ground in Clearwater is patching a few over, but I know you're probably seeing some things pop up, and I think are seeing some consistency across. Karina, you earlier touched on the fact that RTX membership, your basic membership, is free. So this is a really neat opportunity for owners who have other memberships to come in and see what types of inventory, what types of experiences are available, as Ed was just elaborating on. But maybe we can open up to some questions, because I think we've opened up some excitement here from what I can see on my side. So,
And you know, Greg, it's funny that you say that as far as us being able to, you know, bring in those other weeks or things like that. My boss actually, he says this one term that we just use it so much, and it's not that I dislike it or it's not that I disagree with it, because it's very true, and it is what we do. It's that RTX is a one-stop shop. And we can book hotels, car rentals, cruises, all that stuff. So, I mean, yeah, any questions, Beth? Can you read any of those?
Let me see what we have here.
let me read one while Beth is looking that I'm getting
That
up.
would be great.
So it says, I remember growing up as a kid. It says, I remember growing up as a kid, my parents used to take us to the travel agency, and it would be a travel agent that would book all of our travel, all of our itinerary, and everything else. Now growing up, travel agents have virtually disappeared, and it looks like, it looks like RTX is filling a huge void in creating a total consumer service with an all-inclusive program format that is being discussed on this thread. Do you guys want to talk a little bit more about that? Because that's an interesting statement. And hello, Linda Dunn.
Hello,
Hi,
Linda.
Thanks for joining.
But
That's
I
very
can-
interesting, because
that-
I mean, travel agencies were the thing, you know, back in the you know 80s and things like that, and some people still use them. You know, they're right. Like collectively, you know, being a vacation owner, now you can just have all those benefits through RTX rather than going to a travel agent, where you can get those discounted weeks or you know, all the different travel options. And it's all, like she said, it's a one-stop shop. It's one place. You know, before you might go to the travel agent to, you know, book your trip and get those big booklets of the maps that we used to have to flip that were not very user-friendly. But now it's, you know, you come to RTX, book a cruise, book a river cruise, you know, book excursions. Like there's all these different options in one place.
Aren't there times when members call in and we book everything from their car rental, their airfare, their exchange, and then maybe a hotel either the night before or the night after? So, I mean, just being a user-friendly membership for the timeshare owner, I mean, that's what's important about RTX, is that we do have that value. And while we do have that free membership, I mean, there are other benefits and options to explore, and you want to make sure that you take advantage of those. I mean, we're here to help you, so take advantage of it.
Sure.
And just to elaborate on what they said, Greg, for Linda, I would agree with you 100%. There is sometimes to where, because our whole focus here is to be very personal with our members. And I know we have a lot of members, but sometimes we may even get very personal, me personally. But we want to make sure that your experience with us is one to remember that when you did take that trip, you took that cruise, took that flight, booked that flight, we want to make sure that the next time you're thinking about traveling again, you're thinking about RTX. So we want to give you that experience from a timeshare exchange perspective, and also from a travel agency perspective as well, because, and that's kind of our way of saying, hey, we only have this from a timeshare exchange part, but hey, why not give it all in? To where you can actually book the cruises, earn reward credits, book the flights, earn reward credits. And it's awesome because not only just yourself can use it, your family and friends can as well.
The better experience that you have, I mean, it's the best marketing for us. Word of mouth marketing is the best. So the better time that you have, you're more likely to go tell your friends and your family about it. And I'm sure amongst your friends and family members, somebody owns a timeshare, somebody wants to go travel. So just it opens up a world of opportunity for you, your family members, and your friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
So what other questions do we've got going on there?
Boy, it sure looks like we have people coming in from all points across the United States and Canada. I just saw a question from Juliana Wolf, and she's basically saying that she may not have, she has points, but there may not be accessibility to areas where she wants to go. And this turns right back to what Ed just said. Is that there's lots of options that are very close to the points of destination that many owners are actually seeking to go to. So I don't know if that actually addresses Juliana Wolf's comment here, but certainly if you're running into some areas where you can't use all of those points, maybe they need to reach out to you, Ed, and see if there's a way to get that done, or maybe a little help.
Absolutely. I think it goes back to what Karina first said when we first started, is it's all about education. And sometimes our members just go on it alone. They think they're just going to, take care of everything on their own. And sometimes you need an expert to step in just to give you a different eye, a different point of view. And there's a lot of areas in the world that are just not timeshare capable to use your points, your usage, your D of the week, or so on. And that's where our travel agency, responsibilities come in play. So we want to be able to give you, Juliana, and anyone else out there that is experiencing the same thing, that other option of travel, because we probably can get you a hotel or even a nice resort up under our premium destinations. Could land you a really, really good price and earn reward credits on top of it.
Well, in addition to that, I mean, you look at some of the rates that RTX offers you, and you compare it to those of like Expedia or Kayak.com. I mean, just being a member of RTX, you get a huge discount savings. I mean, every travel that I book, when it comes to booking hotels and things like that, I'll go and use our product and save 40 and 45% off. So, I mean, like Ed said, while you might not be able to use your points on specific destinations, there are options. I mean, it might not be something that you were wanting to do, but at least that option is still available to you.
And also, Juliana, I'm glad that was a great question, because a lot of our members don't realize that we actually have a custom search option. So a lot of times members just go on the website and check for availability, and they say, oh, I don't see what I want to book. But we actually have a custom search option. So if you are a premium or premium plus member, one of the great benefits of RTX compared to other exchange companies is that you can go ahead and submit a custom search, which means you're going to tell us where you'd like to go, how many people traveling, locations that you want to go to. And so we will actively search to find you that vacation that you're looking for. So even though it's not on the website, it doesn't mean that it's not an option for you.
Sure.
And if you're a basic member, which is that free membership, if you deposit your week to RTX, then you can go ahead and submit that custom search as well. So That's definitely a great option. We don't want you to just look at the website for your exchange options.
And I mean, that's a good way to be discouraged, and that's what we're not wanting you to do.
Right.
We're in the timeshare industry, in the vacation ownership industry. It should be fun. You should be taking those vacations. It's something that you paid for. So, I mean, call us. We're going to help you.
Sure will.
We love putting people on vacation. I mean, you couldn't have a better job than being
No.
able to put people on vacation. So that's what we love to do.
So, Beth, I just saw a question from Jeffrey Weir. It says, what suggestions or programs do you have for owners who find they can't use their interval a week or two ahead of check-in? Any last-minute deposit options? That's a great question, Jeff.
That is a really great question. I'm glad you asked that. So with RTX, and just like Ed said, if you have a last-minute reservation, typically we require that you deposit at least 45 days outside of that check-in date. But what we do offer, which is pretty cool, is that we have something that's called a late deposit. So if you deposit between 14 and 44 days prior to that check-in date, we're going to go ahead and take your deposit that week that you want to bank to RTX, and we just give you a lower value, but at least you're not losing your week. But we definitely want you to call and talk to us about it, because one thing is that we do not like to see members lose their week. We try to work really hard to make sure that.
And on that note, though, something else that's really cool is we run promotions all the time. So even though you might have that lower week and you're used to getting full credit or whatever it might be, we do monthly promotions. So sometimes it'll be season upgrades, sometimes it'll be unit size upgrades. So there's a number of ways to utilize that. I mean, life happens. Sometimes you can't make that reservation. So it's always good to think about RTX and know that it's not going to be a week that's lost.
Excellent.
And to hit up on that as well, Greg, even if they do have a low season deposit, anything within 45 days, they can book anything.
Yeah, any unit size.
Any unit size, any season, it doesn't matter. That's how we, once again, another one of the RTX benefits we want to assist with.
You know, you guys just touched on something I think that's really unusual. When I've used my membership, you just talked about unit size, and not all vacation ownership is created equal. But I'll tell you one thing that I think is really interesting with the RTX membership is that if you have inventory that's accessible, you can actually do an upgrade as a courtesy benefit for some of your members, and there's just no way that you would find that, you know, searching out there for hotels and whatnot. Juliana just came back in and said she just got great rates, you know, in Indonesia, in Bali, right? And that's awesome. And she still has extra points left over. I find that a lot of people that are vacation owners travel consistently more than people who are not. So, you know, don't let those points burn away. Get those things banked so that you can use them at a future date. Just like Beth said, there's some options, you know, between a certain band of time that really we can work together and help our owners be sure to utilize those points. We hate to see owners lose points or lose intervals. It's a common tale. And we just don't want to see that happen. So this is a wonderful dialogue that I see developing here.
And another, you know, to kind of piggyback off that, like I said before, we do not like for members to lose their weeks or their points.
Oh, you're spending thousands of dollars to become a timeshare owner. We want to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck.
Right. So we do offer, depending on your membership level, your bank life for your points or your week is dependent on what your membership level is. So if you're the highest Premium Plus member, when you deposit your week, it's going to be good for 4 years, which is a long amount, you know. That's,
I think it's the longest in the industry, isn't it?
I think so.
It is.
That's not common. Normally 2 years is the most common. But also you get close to that 4 year, you know, sometimes things happen. You're not able to travel. We still don't want you to lose that week or those points. So you are able to extend those with RTX, which is not normal with other exchange companies. But we do have that option for our members as well. So if you see that your expiration date is coming up make sure you give us a call so that we can help you, because we don't want you to lose that vacation that you paid for.
Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know one other thing that I absolutely appreciate about RTX is that a few years ago we implemented our reservation protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
We used to have an insurance that went through an insurance company that if a member couldn't travel, they had to contact that insurance company and make
Through
a
a third
claim
party.
through a third party, and sometimes the claims never came back. Well, now we implemented the reservation protection. Most of our members that call in inquiring about exchanges or booking an exchange, they are pitched this option. And it's based off your level, but it's still very affordable at the Premium Plus for only $37 to protect your reservation. But they call us directly. And we hear when a lot of people do call in, like teachers call in and say, hey, I can only travel during this time, spring break, and that week is very set. And so they can only make sometimes, in a lot of cases, last minute requests. And in the timeshare world, sometimes that can be very devastating.
Right.
And not actually do anything. Well, that's the reason why we implemented this, because we heard our members crying out and saying, hey, I want to travel, but I can't use my membership. I can't use my ownership. We just don't have time because of family and work, etc. Well, plan with us. And that's why we want you to call in and speak to a live representative, because we can help you plan in advance. And you can book potential reservations that you may believe that might work for you in the near future. And guess what? If it doesn't, you can cancel and receive all your usage back.
Yeah, and you don't have to come up with an excuse or give us a doctor's note. You don't have to provide us receipts or whatever it might be. Life happens.
So Beth, I continue to read these great questions, and Heather Spurlock just joined us, and she says, I haven't used any of my points since I bought my timeshare. No clue on how to use any of it. This really goes to the crux of why we started this webinar and this program about owner education, because people like Heather are frustrated because they just don't understand how to access their ownership. And more importantly, I think that RTX plays a role in being able to not only show them how to use it, but show them how to expand that usage. So Heather, thanks for that question. That's awesome. And Beth, if you could touch maybe a little bit on Heather's question.
Well, Heather's situation is one of those that really hurts.
Yeah.
Because she's paying for vacations and she's utilizing them. So my suggestion is you never want to lose those points. Like, always call RTX, and people like Ed will explain to you all the different options.
There's so many.
Even it's just a matter of how to keep your points, how to extend them, but we want to get you on vacation. So if you call into us, they can go over what you want to do, where you want to go. You can submit up to 5 of those search requests of, maybe you want to go to Hawaii, maybe you want to go to Cancun, but we want you to get on that vacation. And the earlier that you submit a request to us of where you want to go, the better the chance that we can get that vacation for you. A lot of places.
Maybe you've got a nephew who's graduating from high school and you want to give them a gift, or maybe Christmas is coming up, or maybe a holiday is coming up. That this is transferable to your friends. You can book reservations for your friends. So even though you might not be able to travel,
absolutely,
just book some weeks and give them to your family members. Everybody loves to travel, even though you might not be able to.
And even one thing too is a lot of times we have, as Ed was stating before, reservations that are checking in within the next 60 days or what have you. But also, if you're not able to get away for a full week, sometimes it's only a weekend, you can give us a call and we can look at getting you maybe just a weekend stay, or we do split weeks where you don't have to book the full week. So we definitely have a lot of options available. We just need you to call us so we can help you get on vacation.
So that just dovetails right in. Steve Pierce just joined us, and he asked, can you book partial weeks with RTX? And that's a really interesting question, because I don't even know the answer to that. So thanks, Steve, for asking that question. And someone else just said, we have the same issue. So is that something that you commonly get, is a request to book partial weeks?
We actually do.
I say it's a nice percentage.
Yeah.
We do. And it again, it's not one of those things that's going to be available on the site. We need you to call in. to speak with the representative to see what your options are. Not all resorts have that option, so you definitely want to call us and we can help walk you through what your options would be. But that's definitely something that we do a lot. A lot of members, they can't go during the week, and they would,
Yeah, so typically what that's called, it's a split week exchange. So of the 7 nights of the week that you might own, you can use 3 nights of those for the weekend, say Thursday through Sunday, and then you'd have the other 4 nights to use at a later time. Now, one thing about split weeks, the window of time is what, 60 days? So we've got a window of time of 60 days, and because of that, a lot of the resorts want to book full week-long stays. So that's kind of why it's limited to that window of time. But at the same time, it is an option, and then you book those 3 nights, get the other 4 nights to use at a later time.
The main thing is to call us.
Right.
The main
We
thing.
can't stress that
We can't
enough.
stress it enough. Just call
Yes.
us.
So-
that's what we're here.
So I think that answers Steve's question. But Steve, if we didn't clarify that all the way, Ed's available, Beth's available to further elaborate into that. I see one of our Canadian friends just also joined, and this is a great question because I get this on our side at AVO quite a bit. And Robert says, so should we deposit our points before we know if something is actually available? Gosh, yeah, right?
Well, no,
Well,
not necessarily, because we will set the expectations for you, and we're very frank here. We're very frank, and we will set the expectations for you.
Well, plus, you can check availability on our site without depositing anything.
That's
But
great.
as Ed was talking about, we're very realistic with you. And what else were you saying, Ed?
Yeah, and if we need to do a custom search for you, and if you're a premium member and up, then no usage is needed at that time. No exchange fee needs to be paid. We just set the expectations and saying, hey, this is what you would need if we did obtain this, and then we just send it over to our search committee. So it's definitely not perfect for sure. We're growing, as Karina mentioned earlier, that we're within our 6th year.
Yeah.
And we continue to keep on, as we continue to keep on growing, our members are growing with us, and our partnership base, and we just keep on expanding more and more. So I just want to appreciate everyone that has been a loyal member with RTX, that's sticking with us, and we hope that the growth that we have showed you guys, that you guys are appreciating.
That is a great question. So if you're a Festiva Adventure Club member with the points, you can go ahead and submit a search request and not have to give us anything to go ahead and then you can wait to see if we get what you're looking for before you have to deposit. And that's a huge benefit.
And it's neat too, because the search request process, the way that it works is you guys submit the request, we find a unit that you're interested in, and at that point you have 24 hours to decide if you want to book it or not. We don't take an exchange fee. You can talk to your family, make sure that the dates work right. If say you don't like the resort or say the dates don't work out, that's okay. We can just keep on searching for you.
Hey, so Carolyn Romanowski, that's a great question you just asked, Carolyn. And as a timeshare owner myself, I can only tell you that I get a little bit, I get nostalgic. I like to go to the same place. I'm a legacy resort owner in Daytona Beach. I've gone there several times, and I certainly want to expand out, and I've used the exchange services here to travel to other places. And you just joined us, so you didn't hear Ed actually talk about planning travel to other areas, specifically the Western USA. And if you could come back in and ask us, you just asked another question, but if you could come back in and ask us, like, specifically where in the Western USA that you might be wanting to go. I know that Ed's got access. He's probably looking at his phone going, yeah, I've got places right now. So, oh, he's in his head. He's in his head. So cool question. What do you think, Ed? There's lots of Western USA locations that RTX can help some owners to book into. And the best part about Exchange, at least from my perspective at AVOA, is that you never outgrow your ownership. You can always use the expanded services of RTX, which is really cool. We always talk with owners about that. That's a common question that we get. So Carolyn, that's a great question, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more specifically about where you want to go. And I see you just said, how soon would we be notified if it's not available? Gosh, Ed, can you take that one?
Well, Greg, before kind of jumping into that, just one quick thing, Carolyn. And it's a question that comes up a lot when I'm on there, just because I'm primarily doing business development and pitching RTX to new resorts. So when we first started, our primary member base was in the Southeast. So that's kind of where the resorts that RTX had access to. But as we started to expand, as resorts started to realize that they can use RTX as a resource for their members, that's when we started to grow towards the West. Now, we've got several exchange partners and contacts in resorts that are in Western California. And even though you might not be able to see some of those locations on the site, it doesn't mean we don't have access to it. We've got a lot of access to Southwest Arizona, Tahoe, the Southern California. We've got everything from Vancouver to Whistler to Vegas to, just a number of locations. And I just wanted to throw that out there. It started off with a growth thing, and that's why you might see a lot of the Southeastern resorts. But over the past 5 years, we've really grown, and those areas are available to you. And Ed, you might be able to touch base on that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Karina definitely just knocked it out the park with that. But just to touch off of what she said, normally for those Western requests, we'll just go ahead and put in a custom search, and we work in all those areas she just named. Whether if it's Nevada, a lot of people like to go to the Grand Canyon. We send a lot of people out there to Arizona as well. Park City, Utah, Colorado. We have Traveler, baby, Traveler. Yeah, if you remember, you get one of these. But we do travel out there a lot. A lot of our members, we receive a lot of requests. So if you're definitely interested in traveling on the West Coast, whether if it's this year, next year, just give us a call, and a representative will guide you through the process, explain it to you, and go from there. We have a very unique process, so I would definitely, for anyone that's new coming in, if you have not already been walked through the custom search process, just ask the representative to elaborate to make sure you have a clear understanding.
What do you think the most popular location is that our members request in the Southwest? What I've seen, it's mostly Scottsdale, Sedona, but from Ed's standpoint, I'm sure it's a little different, right?
Well, we get a lot of the Arizona, Scottsdale. We also do have inquiries about California. Okay. So a lot of people do travel to like Napa or even sometimes San Francisco through us. Yeah. We do receive a lot of requests, a few requests for Oregon. And that it's a very difficult area, but we can definitely still, if planning enough time in advance, we can definitely still look into possibly getting that for you. Just have to give us a call so we can explain it.
Cool.
I'll tell you what's in the area is Vegas. I know you guys like some Vegas as much as I do.
We go Vegas a lot.
So I've just been reminded of how much time we have left on this webinar. And I think, Greg, what are your thoughts on maybe doing another couple minutes of questions? And then what I'd like to do is announce our contest. So anybody that's tuned in right now, we're going to do a cool little contest. And thank you for participating. Thank you for joining. I know I've gotten a lot out of it, and I know these guys have too. And hopefully you guys have been able to, get some information out of it. And if not, next week is our National Ask a Question Day, where we'll follow up on a number of these things. But Greg, what about one or two more questions?
So Ruth Ann just joined us, and I get this question, and I don't know the answer, so it's great to pose it. Thanks, Ruth Ann, for asking. Can you use points plus cash to offset your required vacation? I'm assuming, and Ruth, chime in pretty quick if I'm not understanding this question, but are you looking to extend the vacation that you're, you know, like the 7 days into like 10 or 12 or more days. That's just not maybe enough, but maybe you guys have come across this. She's saying, can you use points plus cash to offset your required vacation?
So if you're a Festiva Adventure Club member, that's what I'm assuming that she's referring to. There's options for you, but again, you would just need to call and speak to a representative. We can go through, you know, again, our job is to get you on vacation. So there's things that we can do. You just need to give us a call and speak to a representative about that. And they can look at your points and see what all your options are.
And something else that's really cool, though, I don't know that we touched base on this much, but we do have a cruise exchange option. You can use your points, and it'll help offset a cruise, a cabin. So however many points you have, there's a certain breakdown, which if you have specific questions about it, I'd certainly reach out to us. But that will equal a certain amount off of your cruise, and then you can. I don't know if that really answers your question, but I think the best way, like Beth mentioned, is to give us a call.
And just to touch upon that, a lot of owners with Festiva Adventure Club, they're not aware that they can like purchase points with Festiva or accelerated points.
There's things that we can do. So just you know, and every member is unique in what they have. So that's why we say, you know, give us a call. We have great representatives that are friendly and helpful, and that way, you know, they can look exactly at what you're trying to do and help you get on vacation.
So,
do we have time for one more, or are we?
One more short one?
Yeah, I think that'll be what. I think that'll work.
So Ed started on this, and I know that Beth also picked up on it, but Pam Street just joined us a few moments ago. And she says, you know, can points be used for cruises? We talked about that, but what we didn't talk about is perhaps what cruise lines are available to book. So maybe talk about that for just a quick minute, Ed.
Well, I've seen pretty much all of the cruise lines.
All the major cruise
lines?
lines?
Yeah, all the major. You have Carnival, Norwegian, MSN, Holland, Disney, Celebrity, Royal. I mean, I've seen them all. I haven't seen any. I haven't Alaska. I mean, I've seen them all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they're being live streamed to our RTX website, then any of them you can actually use your points to offset them.
And it's actually nice if you're a big, you know, cruiser. You know, you can go on the website and you can actually select if there's a particular ship that you want to go on. You can tell them which cruise line that you want. You can pick your, you know, if you want an inside cabin or if you want a balcony room, like all of those options are there for you, which is really nice that you can see exactly. People that cruise a lot know exactly what they want.
Very specific, and
so
you'll
you
find
can so definitely go to the website and check out those cruises and see if there's something that you would like to book.
Viking Cruise is on there as well, right? Have you seen Viking? Okay, so that's something that we probably have to look into, but we'll definitely let you know. How many viewers are we up to now?
We're right at 32.
All right,
And
so
it's been pretty steady the whole time, so thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah,
they're not leaving.
Wow,
So
some great
I think-
exchange. Great exchange.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
at this point, we want to thank you for joining us. We're going to try and do this more often, and it seems that Facebook Live is the way to go to reach our members, so we're going to try and do that. Greg, do you have anything you want to say before we kind of wrap this up?
No, just great questions, great opportunity for all of us to kind of chime in on some of these things. I hear many of these questions day in and day out. I love it when vacation owners ask questions, because when they get answers, you know, my predecessor, Ed, used to always tell us, you know, timeshare owners are happy owners when they're informed and when they get to be able to use the products that are out there. RTX, you know, along with AVO, offers tremendous education and resources and benefits, and working collaboratively is a win-win for both the companies and we represent as well as our owners. It's awesome. It's just awesome. And thanks everyone for asking those questions. And I just want to say, if we didn't get to your answer, please don't hesitate to call my man Ed or Beth about these kind of things. We'll still take your calls at to Ask AVO, but you know, RTX is our global partner. We're really excited to be working on this new initiative, and it's all about great communication. So keep coming at it. Next week we have that very informative Ask a Question Day, and I think we're going to get even more responses. So that's just been an awesome experience, and thank you all for allowing us to participate and attend.
Greg, before you leave, I thought it might be fun to kind of end this with a little contest. So what are we up to now?
We're still right at 31.
31. So our 31 viewers, thank you so much, and anybody else who has been with us, thank you very much. But those who've stayed till the end, like high five, that's great. And for that, what we're doing is in the middle of the table here, I had this wrapped up piece of paper. We haven't touched it; it's been there the entire time. So what we'd like you to do is in the comments, leave a number between 1 and 500. So 1 and 500, and what that'll do, the number that's closest to whatever's written in this piece of paper, you get a prize. So we'll give that a couple minutes. And let me show you. The grand prize winners today for joining the RTX webinar wins this lovely RTX tote bag complete with your beach towels, some Frisbees, some koozies, and my favorite, Greg, you'll appreciate this one.
RTX AVO glasses.
Glasses.
Love them.
Yeah, it's just a thank you. You know, thanks for taking the time. And
The numbers are rolling in.
the numbers are rolling in,
All
right?
right.
And then here it is again, folks. Complete with pockets on each side. Great.
You're ready to
As you
go
go to the beach, I myself like this bag, and I'm sure you lucky winners would like this as well.
Alright.
What the should we pull?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, let's give it
9, 8, 7,
Yeah.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're out. All right, and the lucky number, the closest number to this, is 207.
207.
207.
Let's see. We have, I think the close, let me just double check.
The suspense is killing me.
I think the closest we have to 207 was Miss Ruth Ann Dudgeon at 255.
250, yeah, that's way to go. So be sure to message our RTX page, and we'll collect your information and make sure that we get this sent out to you. And again, thank you so much for your time. Greg, you're great as always. And
Yes, thank you, Greg, for
Thanks, Greg.
joining
we'll
us.
follow up next week with more questions.
It was a great time. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Have a good one.